If you follow college football and the Pac-12, you know recently Kevin Sumlin, head coach at Arizona, just lost his job. I'm going to tell you why, and it might surprise you. Coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pulaski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. You never like to see anybody lose their job in football, in life, anything else. So that's not what this video is about. This video is about culture on a team. Recently, head coach Kevin Sumlin lost his job down at University of Arizona. They lost to Arizona State 70-7 at the end of what has been, from my experience, the craziest year in college football in 100 years. And it's a tough time to lose your job, but I'm going to talk to you about why. And it doesn't have as much to do with this year, though it played a part, as it does with initial coaching decisions. And that's the biggest piece of this. Before we get started, make sure, if you haven't done so yet, if you love football content, you subscribe and ring the bell. Get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get into this, and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject. I'm giving you my thoughts as a player, and as a player, I've been in good locker rooms, I've been in bad locker rooms, and I understand what culture and chemistry on a team are all about. Finally, share this video out. We're trying to help as many young athletes as possible, and so we give educational, instructional content here that can help young athletes game. The more you share this out, the more young athletes we can help. So let's talk about Arizona. Obviously, 70-7 loss in your rivalry game to Arizona State is a huge blow to a coach. More than just that, the way that Arizona lost that game. Opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and you could just see the attitude, the competitiveness of that Arizona team going down the whole time during the game. I actually had to turn the game off at a certain point because I felt so bad for the Wildcats, which is not a normal reaction for me watching football games because I'm an analyst. But that game was tough to watch. That team, they lost a lot of guys. They had guys out. Everybody's had issues with COVID this year. But Arizona State had also had issues. And so the way that team just declined during the game, couldn't complete a drive, couldn't finish, told you that they had lost the culture in that locker room. As a player, as a fan, you might think, that's this year's team, that happened this year. It didn't. I'm going to tell you, it started the year that Kevin Sumlin took over. And the reason I say that is in 2017, University of Arizona had, in my opinion, one of the most electric college football players in the country in Khalil Tate. As a quarterback, he was an absolute weapon. That year, he ran for 1,411 yards. He ran for 12 touchdowns. He drove defensive coordinators crazy. That was under Rich Rod. When Rich Rod got fired and Kevin Sumlin came in, I thought that was a fantastic hire. I thought Kevin Sumlin was the perfect hire for Arizona at that point. But he brought in Noel Mazzoni. And Noel Mazzoni is a guy who has years of experience, great success running offenses. But rather than adapt to the personnel they had in Kahlil Tate as the quarterback, they tried to make Khalil Tate fit their system. And he just wasn't that guy. Now, I'm going to show you a couple film clips here of Khalil Tate, what I'm talking about, and why that changes the culture in the locker room. Let's hit the film. So this is versus Colorado, 2017. Khalil Tate coming in for the quarterback ahead of him that got injured on a late hit on the sideline. What you're going to see is an RPO. Tate is going to give the fake here, 5-man box. He's going to read that defensive end. As the end shortens down the field, Tate keeps and runs. Colorado safety split, and he is off to the races. I told you he was a special talent. This is what he did for you on offense. End bites down. He outruns him to the edge. Safety split. And Khalil Tate is off to the house. So he has special tools. Now, they didn't try to do much with him in the pass game. As an offense, with him in as a backup, they felt like they could keep it simple for him and use his tools to put leverage on a defense. In this case, you're going to see him give the inside play fake, pull that back guard, Tate comes out on a boot, and they're going to get a simple sit over the ball. Easy dink and dunk. Just make it happen. Threaten the defense on the outside. When he gets a sit down, he puts it on him. And your guys make a play and get the first down. So simple plays by design, taking advantage of his skill set. Once again, you're going to see that RPO where Tate is going to give the fake inside and keep outside, 7-man box. He pulls this ball, and he makes plays in the open field. Not only does he take advantage of defense's misalignments on a single read, but then his physical skills are pretty special on the outside. So watch him make this outside linebacker miss in the open field, almost break his ankles. And then his speed was enough to pick up a huge gain. So those were the tools that Kahlil Tate brought to the table. He was electric. Like I said, he ran for 1,411 yards, accounted for 3,000 yards in total offense that year, and almost 30 touchdowns. And so the next year, when Sumlin comes in, he brings Mazzoni with him, they change out the offense, and they get to more trying to keep Tate in the pocket, make him a pocket passer. Here's where I think that mistake was made, and the team knew it, in that you have one of the most electric players in college football. I thought he would be in New York for the Heisman voting the next year, just based on his performance the year prior. He only had 9 games, got 3,000 yards of total offense in 2017. So when they try to make him a pocket passer, it's not his game. He doesn't read like a quarterback downfield. He sticks on guys, and he made bad mistakes as a result of it. As a coach, you need to know that, you need to understand that about your guys, and put them in the best position to win. It's not always about you run my system. Sometimes I have to adjust my system for my talent. And they had a talented player, and I think they misused him. Let's take a look at the film. So now, this is Arizona trying to use Tate as a pocket passer. What you're going to get is an over route, climb route, from number 2 to the field and number 1 to the boundary. You've got a deep kind of curl comeback and a quick out. As a quarterback, you need to see that this is cover 3. You're going to get deep third, and deep third right there. And so as a result, you need to play over here. Play this game. Your flats should be open. And the way you read this is if this defender runs to the flat, you throw that curl comeback. If this defender gets depth, you throw your flat route. When you try to make Tate into a pocket passer, he either didn't get through progressions or didn't read very well. Because what he does is he hangs on this middle field throw on the over for too long. And when he comes back out, he tries to force the high ball. He's looking down the middle, stays in the middle, comes back late, and he's trying to stick that into a pretty tight window, a tough throw across the field. And that's because he was late on his reads. Tate is not accustomed to being a pocket passer. Now, all Arizona is doing, they're running verticals on the outside, and they're using a high-low concept in the middle. So number 2 to the field is going to bang the over. Number 2 into the boundary is going to run the shallow cross. As a quarterback, you see cover 2. You know that your verticals are not going to be open. I'm going to key this backer. Only one in the middle there. Key that guy and see what you get. Simple read. And right here, as this backer sits, I've got this window, or I throw it right off his ear into the second window throw. Tate, again, not reading very well. I think it's muddy for him. He starts to roll, looking for something to happen. Now, he's at his best when he's on the move, but he's got the thought process of remaining a passer. And so as he gets out, he still had that throw if he could make it, but he also has his check down, and he never gets back to his check down. So thinking passer, rather than taking advantage of all this green grass out here, with his incredible physical skills, he winds up and throws this ball away. Okay, but he has the tools to run. That's because they made him think about being a pocket passer. Now on the goal line, you're going to get a simple concept of a sail with a shoot and a cross on the backside. As a quarterback, the way you read this, if they take away the sail, I throw the shoot. If they take away the shoot, this has to come open. It's exactly what happens on this play. They cancel the sail, so that's out. They cancel the shoot, but as this tight end comes into this open window, he is wide open. Super easy as a quarterback. Your eyes are already there. Just let them drop, throw to that third option on the inside, and it's a quick read, quick release of the ball. As Tate looks downfield, he locks on to the deep stuff. And so what he's not seeing, this corner's sitting back there, so that sail's done, although he's going to do a sail sit. And this shoot is being chased. This tight end's about to come right into this window. But he's not seeing it. And you can see he's got a nice lane right there. He could literally let this ball go to the tight end on his next hitch, and that's a touchdown. But again, he is not a pocket passer by nature. He escapes, tries to make something happen, and then the running back runs out of bounds. One look from the end zone, and watch it all come into his vision. Sail's not there. Shoot's not there. Here's your tight end right now, coming into this window underneath everything. Just put it on him. You can see him in that open window. Tate doesn't see him, throws the running back late, and no good. So you can say, okay, got it. Kahlil Tate wasn't seeing it as a passer. How did that get Kevin Sumlin fired? Well, the team from 2017 knew how electric Kahlil Tate was. They knew how effective he was running the football. They look forward to 2018 being efficient on offense with this potent offensive weapon back there at quarterback. When he didn't perform, when the coaches tried to fit the square peg into the round hole, it didn't turn out, and everybody was disillusioned. Year one. Teams with new coaches, oftentimes as they try to bring in new systems, will take a little dip. You don't have your guys for recruiting. You don't have your guys in-house. But when you have a weapon like Khalil Tate and you don't use him to the umpteenth of his strength, your team notices. So in 2018, when Khalil Tate's game goes like this, he threw for a lot of yards, but he didn't rush for a lot of yards. Only 224 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns that year. Now, there were some injury issues, so I have to be fair there. But you reduce his rushing yards by over 1,200 yards that year. So that's stuff that stretches defenses. It makes you play honest. Then in the next year, Tate comes back, and again, there were some injury issues. I think it was an ankle that year. And he only rushes for 400 yards. And his passer rating drops, and his touchdowns to interception drops. And now the team starts to doubt whether you know what you're doing as a coach. Culture, chemistry is all about belief. If your team doesn't believe that you're making the right decisions for the team, then you lose them in a hurry. That's my opinion. I think that's how Sumlin lost that team. I think it's why they continued on that downward slope. I think in part it's why they started off strong this year. You get that belief early, but then as soon as you have setbacks, it goes back down. And again, emotionally, this was a brutal year. And so a team that's already on the pivot and you have some setbacks, it's easy for them to kind of crater. And so I think that's what happened at Arizona this year. I think that's why Coach Sumlin lost his job. Again, I have nothing against him. I thought he was a great coach. I thought he was a great hire. Noel Mazzoni has proven track record with his offense. I just think they were trying to pound a square peg into a round hole with Khalil Tate when they should have used him to his strengths. Run the football, get him outside. When you throw with him, move the pocket, get him to where he feels comfortable, and don't try to make him a pocket passer. And so oftentimes you don't see the things that lead to this downward spiral on a team. That was it for Arizona. If you like what I did here today, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, leave me a comment down below, give me a thumbs up. I just love talking college football. Hopefully this helps some people at home. Understanding as coaches, you need to use the talent that you have rather than hoping the talent that you have can fit your system. So many times I see coaches try to make talent that they have fit a system when if they were just to adjust to the talent, they'd be a lot better off. Appreciate you watching today. A little college football, talking about quarterback training, quarterback skills, kind of what you need at the position, hopefully improve your football IQ, and help you get better at the game.